Hey Virgo, so I started your reading and then I had some technical difficulties. So here, let me go through it again for you. Because it's a good reading. Basically, your person is in a place where they're really torn because they're trying to basically make excuses to not come in because they feel like they're still completely invested in you, but it appears like they're not taking any action. And the reason is because they're trying to build something up for you. They feel like they want to come in with some kind of a physical offer. They want to come in and give you something, or even just if they want to come in and offer a relationship, they feel like they need to come in and have stability. Maybe in their own life, maybe they need to have like more financial stability, maybe a home or, something like that. And they're very, very insecure in this situation. They're very worried that if they came in and they don't come in right, that they'll be rejected. And so that's kind of what's influencing their actions in this dynamic. But also, I think they understand that they are rather aware of the fact that they're just kind of delaying and, sort of being a dope. It's like they're not blind to their own internal stuff. Like they see that they're doing it and they understand that what they're really just kind of doing is trying to buy time for themselves because it soothes their feelings, because if they don't have to actually come in, then they don't have to face their fears. And that's kind of what this really is about. So this person is like watching really heavily to see if you're like, they're hesitating, but they're watching really heavily to see if you are with somebody. That's a big thing for them right now. Like they are kind of deciphering whether or not to approach you based on whether or not they think you're with somebody, because they're really worried that like if they come in and act like, I'm so in love with you and I want to do this with you and here's all this I want to give to you, and you're like, I'm already seeing somebody, why are you so obsessed with me, like that. I'm sure you wouldn't say something like that, but you know what I mean. And they're just really worried that would be just so humiliating that they don't, so basically they're keeping a very tight eye on you to look for any clues as to whether or not you're with somebody. So if this is somebody that you want back in your life, Virgo, maybe something you could do is post on, make your relationship status, public, and post single, so that it'll be very clear. But yeah, this is somebody they're just very, very, they know what they're doing. I think they're aware of their own BS, but they're just very worried about whether or not they're welcome with you and what will happen if they approach you. Yeah, they're very, very worried that you have moved on, and they're very also trepidatious about the thought of approaching you if you have already kind of started to emotionally move on. They're very worried about showing their feelings to you and finding out that you're just like, what? I don't even care anymore, kind of thing. And yeah, so this basically this person might have tricked you or done something in the past where, they just let you down. They did something kind of sneaky, tricky, and they're wanting to transition from being this person that you maybe see as a trickster or a liar, into being this stable, steady person who will be generous with you and who will be reliable, maybe even give something to you. So they're seeing this act of giving as the only way to perhaps do that. And so this is somebody who, it's like see how it's like this, the two dudes in these cards, they look very similar. It's like they're worried about how you perceive them and whether or not they can switch out of being like magician in the reverse, the trickster, into being this like good and giving person. That's how they want you to see them, as stable, loving, giving, just. And I think that they definitely feel like they need to give you something. They know that they could approach you without doing that, but in their feelings, the only thing that really comforts them when they think about approaching you is the thought of coming in with some really big gift or something, where you would be really appreciative of them to kind of like make things better. It's almost like they don't even want you to see who they were before. You know, I'm seeing, it's like they don't even want you to remember or to see what was motivating them before, their mindset before. It's like they're very ashamed. They're wanting to cover that way of thinking and that way of acting and what was motivating them. They don't even want you to see it, because they see that you're it's like experience with you has shown them that you're a really good person, and they're like really ashamed of the way that they acted in the past. With the Page of Wands, they definitely really want to approach you, and I'd say that they are going to. And then right under that, we have the Two of Wands in the reverse. This is somebody who knows they've taken enough time. They know they can't delay. They know that they know that basically all this stuff that's going on, they know that it's going on. They realize their own BS. You know, they know, you know, what they're doing. So this is the internal struggle inside of them. But I would say that because we have the Page of Wands as this definitive card, they are intending to reach out. They're just very scared. They're very scared, which is honestly kind of sweet, because it just shows how much they value you. So universe, how does my Virgo's person feel towards my Virgo? Oh, perspective. Oh, okay, I'm just going to keep shuffling. All right, how does my Virgo's person feel towards my Virgo? What is this Knight of Pentacles in the reverse to the Wheel of Fortune? Yeah, so this person, it's like they're maybe even a little bit trying to avoid the realization, the understanding and the realizations that they have, because it's like they know the truth of the situation. They know how you feel, how they feel, or they at least know how they feel. They don't know how you feel necessarily. But it's like they're just scared to face the situation. They're really scared to face up and like put themselves on the line. Yep. So this is somebody who I feel, again, like this is maybe somebody, it's like when they get nervous and they feel scared, they just sort of isolate, they pull away. But this person is seeing the truth in this, is what I'm seeing. Like this is somebody who's starting to understand, like, wow, I just keep pulling away, and this is why I'm doing it. It's actually kind of pointless. It's not gaining me anything. It's not gaining me any power. It's not gaining me any footing or advancement in this situation. It's not making it easier. It's not making it better. It's just kind of avoiding. Yeah. And this is somebody who's just realizing that, like, I'm just avoiding the thing that makes me uncomfortable, and I just need to face it. So also influences there. This is somebody also understanding that there are people around them that influence them. I sense that they are aware of the fact of the things influencing their perspective. It's like they're gaining a lot of clarity. Maybe clarity that's even a little bit uncomfortable, because they're having to face the reality of the people around them that they maybe thought that they could rely on. And the fact that those are people that don't necessarily have their best interests at heart. You know, that this is somebody having to face the kind of scary reality of maybe realizing that they can't trust a parent, or they can't trust a sibling, or they can't trust, you know, having to face the realities in life that can shake our foundations. Yeah, with the Tower in the reverse, they are feeling these realizations with the Moon here. These realizations are shaking their foundations, but they're seeing that is the gate through which their freedom lies, is facing the truth about these third parties. Because I'm sensing that this person's I mean, most, you know, people, when they have attachment issues, it's generally just because of their upbringing, their family, you know, their parents. And if we had parents that were really toxic, or maybe not, you know, don't have good motives towards us, that's more rare, but it does happen. And facing that reality is one of the hardest things, because, you know, people make themselves safe their entire lives by telling themselves that my parents love me, my parents are good, you know, I just messed up, I'm just the mess, I'm just the, you know, F up. But sometimes the freedom comes in allowing yourself to realize that, you know, that person does not have my best interest at heart. And that can be scary, because when we realize that in many ways we are alone. And even if it was true before, if we weren't accepting it, we can still live in that sort of bubble of believing that we're safe, even in ways that we're not. And this is, obviously isn't going to be for everybody. But I feel like that's what this person is coming to. They're coming to look at the influences in their life and to realize, oh my God, these people are influencing me negatively. They're gaining clarity, and they're seeing, and this is the thing that is causing them to see that you are not the negative influence in their life. Yeah. This is someone who sees that this situation has reached a breaking point. It's reached a limit, a final straw kind of, point, and that they can't just, do nothing. But I think what's going on in your person is really, really good. Yeah, they're coming out of this conflict. They're coming out of the inner conflict is what I sense. The inner conflict where they would justify their abusers, maybe, or not necessarily straight up abusers, but even just people who were influencing them negatively and to their detriment because it benefited these people who were doing it. This is someone coming out of the conflict of rejecting self and accepting to accept the person who's harming them, so that they could believe that they were safe, for example. Because we all need people to be safe. That's how it works. It doesn't make you weak. But yeah, this person is coming out of that conflict, and this is what's enabling them to realize that you are such a positive presence in their life. It could be that if their family or some friends or something were speaking against you, that if that was happening, it was because you were someone who wanted to really love them. And I think, as we've said before on this channel, it's like when an abuse victim or of narcissistic abuse and things like that is given real love, then they can't be abused anymore, because they're receiving the thing that the abusers were trying to withhold from them. And so many times when a real love partner comes into someone's life who will really love them and set them free, the people, the people around them in their life who are benefiting from feeding off of them will speak against that person. They'll try to, downplay or insult or, undermine that relationship, because they don't want that person to gain freedom. They want them to stay weak. What is this? 7 of Pentacles to the 7 of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, so chasing in the reverse. So this person, I feel like they have because we have this, they have a compulsion to chase you. They want to. They definitely want to chase you, but they're just kind of feeling a little like they're still that spider, but they're just kind of sitting still at the moment. They're like thinking, like they're in chase mode. They understand that they are the ones who are on the opposition, or on the offense, sorry. But they're just kind of sitting still and kind of thinking a bit. All right, universe, what is the 7 of Pentacles to the 7 of Swords? Yeah. This is somebody who is coming into clarity. There is some hesitancy to face it because it's hard. But it's like there's a light dawning on this person's mind and from their heart. And they're seeing truths that they maybe don't necessarily want to see, but they're coming out regardless. And so it's kind of like one of those things where whether you let yourself face it or not, the truth is burning through the illusions. And it's coming out of the heart. And yeah. This person is thinking a lot. They're missing you, they're craving you, they're desiring you. But I feel like what's happening right at this moment is that they are breaking through toxicity. They're breaking through these old things that frankly have kept you apart. Interesting. Universe, what can you tell me about this situation? About my Virgo's person and how they feel towards Virgo and what their intentions are. Oh. Oh. Okay. So we have caution in the reverse. Find out more information before you overwork yourself. So this could be, there could be some kind of an element here with overworking, maybe in relationship to a pregnancy. Maybe somebody could be at risk of putting a pregnancy at risk if they overwork themselves. Yeah, it's something here about healing, about health, and I sense a pregnancy. So interesting. Okay. All right. So universe, can you tell me, how does my Virgo's person feel towards Virgo? How do they feel towards Virgo? I feel like what this is saying is that you are so different from everyone around me. This is them gaining perspective truly on your value. They are seeing that the people around them have been controlling the way that they perceive themselves and others, and controlling them in ways that they never saw until you came into their life. Until you came into their life, they were blind to these things. And now all of a sudden, because of your presence, they have this perspective about these influences in their life. Hold on one second. They have this perspective in regards to these influences in their life that, and you might have said something in the past, but now it's really dawning upon them, and it's like they feel it in their emotions. They see it. It's not just words. To them, it's real. They're like, oh my God, Virgo was right. And they're just understanding how different you are from everybody they've ever known. That you are trustworthy. This could have been a situation where they ran from you or from commitment because they didn't think anybody could really be trusted, and they're realizing it's because they've been surrounded by snakes their whole life. Like they've just been surrounded by snaky, wakey people. All right, so universe, what can you tell me about this? And that's really beautiful, honestly. Yeah, this person is healing. So right now they're just kind of, they're in this kind of sort of still place right now, and it doesn't mean that they're going to be inactive for a long time. It just feels like at the moment they're in this standstill where they're healing because they're realizing all these beautiful things about you and about the scenario. All right, universe. Ooh. Balance spirituality and practicality. So yeah, this person is also coming to a place where they're understanding the importance of staying mindful in their life, and that how it directly correlates to their ability to stay outside of the influence of toxic people. That when they are mindful, they honor themselves and they connect to themselves in a way that disallows them to lose themselves amongst others. That when they're in the presence of others, especially those who would influence them, it's the strength of their spiritual practice and their mindfulness and all of that that keeps them in a place. Yeah, exactly. I'm seeing these two fishes, and as we talked before about the Pisces and the Virgo North Node, South Node stuff, it's like this is somebody learning how to balance self and other. And that means, by balancing spirituality and practicality, they're learning to that by being mindful and being spiritual, they gain a sense of groundedness and a sense of self that allows them to just see the difference. So they can still engage with other people, but they know the difference between self and other, to the point that when somebody starts to assault their sense of self or truth or reality, they can step back. And they can not come into agreement with that and not allow that person to overstep the boundaries of self. So this could be somebody stepping into their North Node power and their fate. Anyway, so Virgos, I hope that this has helped you. I will speak to you very soon.